Hi, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be doing a practice for our neck and shoulders. Just moving them a little feels good. Not only for that, of course, but the focus will be on neck and shoulders. So we'll start here in a moment. If you'd like to get seated, or you can lie down. I think I'm going to lie down here. We'll do our centering. So find a comfortable way to be, either seated or lying down. Either way is good. You can place something under your head like a blanket or a pillow or nothing if you prefer. You can keep your legs bent with your feet on the floor, or you could extend your legs so that you're in Shavasana posture. So Shavasana posture is where your legs are a little ways apart and they're relaxed and your arms are by your body, maybe just a little ways from your body with your palms facing up. And from here, close your eyes. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Notice how your body feels. Notice your breath flowing in and out. Notice any parts of your body that you'd like to pay special attention to today. Areas where there may be some discomfort or pain, stiffness. The idea here is just to remind yourself to be careful with your body, with yourself. And then bend your knees. Place your hands down by your sides with your palms facing down. And next time you breathe in, next time you inhale, bring one arm up and overhead to the floor behind you. It can be close to your ears or ear, or it could be a little ways away from your ear. When it's time for you to exhale, lower your arm and at the same time turn your head the other way. So like you're looking over the opposite shoulder. When it's time to inhale, the head comes up and the other arm comes up. And when you exhale, that arm comes down, your head turns. First arm when you're ready. Inhale, head to the center, arm comes up. And when you exhale, the arm comes down, the head turns. Notice what you feel in your neck and in your shoulders, maybe your upper back. Come up on your inhale with the second arm, head to the center. And when you exhale, come down, turn your head. Back to the first arm. It's coming up on the inhale, down on the exhale, all the while noticing what you're feeling. And then your second arm, this will be our last time. When you exhale, lower that arm, turn your head, and then just let your head roll back to the center. Pause for a moment. Pick up one foot. Place your hand or both hands on your knee. Have your elbows extended so your knee is arm's length away. Take a breath in this position. And as you exhale, fold your knee and your thigh in towards your chest, towards your torso. Your elbows bend when you do that. When you inhale, the elbows straighten and the knee moves away. Let's do that twice more. So as you're exhaling, you're also contracting your abdominals. You're pressing your low back down. And when you inhale, relax, move away. One more time like that. It's the exhale that brings it in, and the inhale that moves it away. Now we're going to keep our hand on this knee, and we're just going to make some circles from our hip. So the knee is circling, but the movement is coming from the hip. So just breathe freely as you circle in, and then out to the side and down, and toward the center of your body, and then back in towards your chest. Slowly go around 2 more times, breathing freely. And if you go around an extra time, that's okay. It's no big deal. When you feel you've gone 3 times, then pause and circle in the opposite direction. As you're doing this, notice what you're feeling in your hip and in your low back. We're going around about 3 times, just like on the first direction. And when you finish, you'll pause, return your foot to the floor. Take a moment to compare how this hip and low side of the low back feels compared to the one you haven't worked with yet. So pick up the other foot, place your hand on your kneecap. Take a breath in. And when you exhale, fold your thigh in towards your torso. And when you inhale, let it move away, relaxing as you do that. When you exhale, you're contracting your abdominals as you press your low back down and draw the knee in. And when you inhale, you're releasing that, letting it move away. Last one. And again, noticing what you're feeling on your low back and in your hip area. When you're ready, start your circles. So circling one way, slowly. We're going to go around about 3 times. But make your circles slow and mindful so you're aware of what your experience is in your hip and in your low back. When you finish 3, then pause. Go the other way 3 times. Also, it doesn't have to be exactly 3. If you go another one, an extra one, it's not going to hurt anything. Make sure you're breathing. When you've done about 3, then pause. Return your foot to the floor. Shift your hips to one side and roll to the other. And come up. Come up to a seated posture. You can sit on your blanket or you could sit on a chair. Whatever feels best for you. Sit up tall. What we'll be doing now is a 3-part movement for our neck and shoulders. We start with the neck and then we add in the shoulders. So we'll start with the neck. Take a breath in, feel how your spine lengthens as you do that. When you exhale, turn your head, look over one shoulder. When you inhale, bring your head back to the center. When you exhale, turn your head the other way. Let's come back to the center on the inhale and do 1 more to each side. So turn on the exhale, head to the center on the inhale, noticing what you're feeling in your neck as you do this. Exhaling as you turn, back to the center as you inhale. When you finish that second side, then we'll add the shoulder movement. And the first movement will involve placing your hand on the same shoulder of the way that you're turning your head. So just go ahead and place one hand on whichever shoulder you'd like to start with. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you press that shoulder back a little bit, and then you turn your head in the same direction. When you inhale, you're coming back to the center. And when you exhale, you do the same thing on the other side. Press the shoulder back, turn the head. When you inhale, come back to the center, and then we'll repeat that on each side. So exhale, turn, press back, Inhale to the center. Last one like this now. So exhale, press the shoulder back, turn the head. Back to the center as you inhale. Pause for a moment. Notice what your neck and shoulders feel like right now. And then the third part of the movement is opposite shoulder to the way that the head is turning. So place your hand on again, whichever shoulder you'd like to start with. You're going to be doing that same thing as far as encouraging the shoulder back, except this time the head's going to turn the other way, looking over the opposite shoulder. So take a breath in. As you exhale, press that shoulder back and simultaneously turn the head. Look over the opposite shoulder. And when you inhale, come back to the center. When you exhale, other side, opposite shoulder from the way that you're turning your head. And when you inhale, come back to the center. Change sides with your exhale. Back to the center on the inhale. Last one. Exhale as you press your shoulder back. Turn your head the other way. Notice what you feel in your neck, your shoulders. When you inhale, come back to the center and pause for a moment. Feel. Now we're going to come up to our hands and knees. So I'm on a carpet and I don't really need a blanket under my knees, but if you're on a hard floor, you may want a blanket under your knees. I'll move my blanket out of the way. All right, come to your hands and knees. Your wrists below your shoulders, your knees below your hips. Your fingers are nice and wide and your weight's in your whole hand, not just your wrists. As you inhale this time, lift your chest. And when you exhale, contract your abdominals, bring your elbows down, bring your chest down, bring your hips back and let your neck relax. When you inhale, come back up, chest lifts. When you exhale, contract your abdominals. There's a little rounding in the low back as you come down also. Elbows first, then the chest, then the hips, then the neck relaxes. Next time you come up, we're going to stay up. With your exhalation, you're going to take your left shoulder towards your left hip and your left hip towards your left shoulder. So you curve your spine, in other words. And when you inhale, you'll come back to a neutral position. When you exhale, you'll do the right side, so right shoulder towards the right hip. When you inhale, come back to the center. Now the left side, so that's your exhale as you make sort of a C shape with your spine. Back to the center on the inhale. Other side when you exhale. This time we'll stay in the center, so when you're in the center and you're inhaling, lift your chest. When you exhale, bring your elbows down, your chest down, your hips back, relax your neck. And let's do that twice more, so up on the inhale, lift your chest. And down on the exhale, elbows first and then work your way down. Let's do one more. Down on the exhale. And the next time that you come up, stay up. And find your way to standing. So take your time getting up. There's no hurry. Right, we're standing in mountain pose. Equal standing pose is another name for this. Our feet are about hip joint distance apart, so think about where your hip joints are, and your leg bones just line up with those hip joints. Okay, from here we're going to bring our arms up in sort of a a W, I guess. I kind of look like a W here. Your palms face forward. And as you inhale, reach up like you're reaching up to a shelf. And as you exhale, lower your elbow. We're going to alternate sides, so it's the inhale when you reach. Doesn't matter how high. Do what feels best for your shoulders. And when you exhale, your elbow comes down. Continue doing that. Following your own breath. You can look up if you like, or you can continue to look forward. But do notice what you're feeling in your shoulder joints as you do this. When you've done your second arm and your elbows are back down, then let's stay there. We're going to add another movement to this. So as you reach up with one arm, you're going to take the opposite leg out to the side. And when you exhale, you're going to come back. We're going to move side to side like that now. So arm up, opposite leg out. Exhale back. Move side to side. So you're reaching with the leg and the arm with the inhale, and you're coming back to more of a neutral place on your exhale. Side to side. And you're moving fairly slowly because you're moving to your breath, and your breath is on the slow, mindful side. Let's do one more to each side, or when you have done both sides and you're finished, then that'll be the last one for you. And when you do finish, lower your arms, and let's circle our hips. So imagine you're in a great big barrel and you're trying to touch that barrel with your hips all the way around. So big old circle. You might want your feet a little wider. Sometimes that feels better, at least for me. And then go the other way. Breathe in the whole time. Make sure you're breathing. Kind of important. And then pause, stand up tall. Come to the back of your mat now. Make sure I'm not out of the picture here. So you're at the back, towards the back of your mat. Your feet are still hip joint distance apart, so like your feet are on railroad tracks. Step forward with one foot. Keep that foot on the railroad tracks. Bend your front knee. And then lean forward just a little bit. So your shoulders are just slightly ahead of your hips. As you inhale, bring your arms out to either side in a nice wide sweep. You're arching your upper back as you do that. And when you exhale, straighten your leg and cross your arms. Bring your hands to the opposite shoulders and round your upper back. Look down. So inhale, arms wide, bend your knee, arch your upper back. If you can, cross your arms so that the opposite, you change which hand is on which shoulder. So inhale, exhale, and change the cross if that's doable. I'm going to do the last one here. Exhale. Now the next time you inhale, you'll come into the same position. Keep your knee bent, and as you exhale, lower your arms. Keep your knee bent, and as you inhale, sweep your arms forward. When you exhale this time, turn your palms forward and bring your elbows out to the side and bring them down. And let's do that 3 more times. So inhale, sweep forward and up. Exhale, elbows down. Twice more like that. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Exhale, elbows out to the side and down. This time when you inhale, straighten your leg, lower your arms, step your feet together, and pause for a moment. Notice how you feel after what you just did, what the effect was on your system, on your body, on your breath, all of that. Now we'll do the other side. So again, come toward the back of your mat. Have your feet hip joint distance apart on your imaginary railroad tracks. I'm going to step back a little further. Okay, now the other toes are going to turn out slightly. You'll step directly forward with the opposite foot. Bend your front knee. Your hips are side by side too, as much as possible, so don't let this forward leg, the hip of the forward leg, kind of turn to the side. You want them facing the front so that they're side by side. Knees bent, it's right over the ankle. You lean forward a little bit. As you inhale, arms come out in a wide sweep, arch your upper back. And as you exhale, straighten your leg, cross your hands to either shoulder, round your upper back and look down. 3 more like that. Inhale, wide sweep. Exhale and cross, change the cross. Inhale, come into the warrior one posture. And when you exhale, cross your arms, straighten your leg. Again. Exhale. We'll come back into warrior one, and this time we'll keep our knee bent. So inhale, the arms out. This time when you exhale, lower the arms, keep the knee bent. When you inhale, the arms come forward and up. When you exhale, the elbows come down to the sides, out and down to the sides. 3 more like that, keeping the knee bent. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, elbows down. Notice what you're feeling in your shoulder blades. That's part of your shoulder girdle. Here's our third one. Shoulder blade, shoulder joints. Last one now. Exhale, the elbows out to the side. And when you inhale, lower the arms, straighten the legs, step your feet together, and pause. Notice how you feel. Bring your hands to the sides of your legs, either the sides of your legs or kind of the back of your legs, just below your buttocks. Okay, notice how when you do that, it helps you kind of open your chest. So take a breath in. And as you exhale, your knees are flexed a little bit. You're bending from your hips. You just let your hands glide along the backs or the sides of your legs as you bend forward. Come only as far as you can come with a neutral spine, and then stop when you feel like your spine wants to start curving. And then you can let it relax. And when you inhale, lift up, find your neutral spine again, and come up. Let's do that a few times. So each time you exhale, you're sliding the hands down the legs as you bend from your hips. Keep your spine long in a neutral way. And when you inhale, you find your neutral spine and come up. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, bending at the hip joint, coming down. Up on the inhale. The curving of the spine is at the very end of the exhale, and it's just distributed throughout the whole spine, not just the upper back. Come up on your inhale and pause. Okay, next is a balancing pose. And for me, on my carpet, I'd rather not be on the carpet and a blanket and a mat, so I'm going to come a little closer to the camera. So what we'll be doing is eagle pose. And let's talk about the arms first. So you can use the arms like we did in warrior, where you just cross to either shoulder like that. That's fine to cross your arms like that. If you'll notice, when you were doing warrior and you brought your arms out like this, your shoulder blades came closer to each other, closer to the spine as well. And then when you crossed, they came further away. So you're getting some stretch, some contraction and some stretch along the whole back of the upper back and shoulder area. Shoulder blades are part of the shoulder girdle. So, okay, so that's really what that's about, and that's what we're going to be doing in eagle pose, is spreading our upper backs nice and wide. An alternative also is to cross at your elbows and lift up. Now, not everybody's upper back is going to like this much. So remember, if you don't want to do this, it's fine to do this. Okay? All right, so that's the upper half of the posture. The lower half involves bending the knees a little bit and crossing your leg. If you've had a hip replacement on that upper leg side, you may not want to do that. You may want to just bring your foot a little bit forward and not actually cross it. Okay, so here we go. Be nice and tall, feet are hip joint distance apart, bend your knees, lean forward from your hips a little bit. So this is kind of our framework. Shift your weight to whichever leg you'd like to be your standing leg. Come up onto the toes of the other one, and then either place your foot in front or cross. And then have your toes on the ground, or if you like, you can lift them. I'm not going to lift them. So, all right, now the arm that's going to be on top will be opposite the leg that's on top. So bring that arm out and then sweep under. Remember, you can just cross your arms, place them on your shoulders if you want. Hands intertwine if you're doing this. Once you're in the position, see if you can stay for up to 5 breaths, and I'll be quiet as we breathe. Whenever you finish your breaths, unentangle your arms, uncross your legs, maybe shift your weight side to side for a little bit. Notice how you feel. All right, we'll do the other side. So bend your knees, lean forward a little bit from your hips, shift to the other leg, that's your standing leg now, and when you're ready, toes in front or the leg crosses at the knee. Remember, it's the opposite arm that'll be on top, so cross. When you get settled, stay for 5 breaths. Always okay to do fewer. If you need to come out, no biggie. Notice what you feel across the top of your back, and also while you're at it, across your sacrum, across the top of the pelvis. And when you finish, unentangle your arms, stand up, uncross, shift your weight side to side, and take a moment to notice how you feel. You might close your eyes, just kind of check into your body. Now we'll come down to the floor, so find your way down. Once you're down, you'll be in a tall kneeling position, so standing on your knees, like I am. You want to bring your hands to your low back with your palms facing out. As you inhale, sweep your arms out to either side and up. And as you exhale, bring them back where they were as you bend from your hips. Bring your chest down. Turn your head to one side as you're coming down. You don't have to bring your head all the way down, but if you do, it's fine to bring it to the floor. And when you inhale, come back up. When you exhale and come down again, you'll turn your head the other way. And come up on your inhale. Doesn't matter how high you sweep your arms. Remember, you're listening to your shoulders down to the first side again when you exhale. And then up on your inhale. Down on your exhale, turning your head the other way. Come up as you inhale. Let's do one to each side. One more to each side. And when you finish that last one and you come back up, just lower your arms on your exhale. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Then we're going to come down to the floor on our sides. Let's come to our right side. And if you like, you can have your blanket under your head. You could either have your blanket under your head or your arm. Either way is fine. You just want your head elevated a little bit with something. So if you're using a blanket, you can have this lower arm out front and then the other hand on top of it. If you have your hand on your head, just this hand's just on the floor. Okay, so your thighs are at a 90-degree angle to your torso or so. Take this top hand and bring it down so now it's in line with your spine. Your wrist and forearm just kind of rest on your hip bone. What we're going to be doing is moving our shoulder joint in 4 directions here. So reach through your fingertips. Feel how that pulls these muscles on the side of your neck. At least that's what I'm feeling. And then relax. We'll do that again. So reach. And then relax. Now we'll shift our shoulder blade back. So shift it back. It's like you're rolling it back. And then back to neutral. Do that again. Well, this time you're breathing, not holding your breath, but you are moving slowly. And so you can feel the sensation. When you've done 2, excuse me, then we'll shrug our shoulder. And try not to get the other shoulder involved. Make it just on this top side. So shrug it up. My tendency is to want to do both. And then relax it down. And then shrug it up. Relax it down. And then we're going to roll the shoulder forward. So roll it forward. Back to neutral. And roll it forward. Back to neutral. Alright, now we're going to go through all 4 of those points in a circular fashion. And we're going to go around 3 times each way. So we'll start with the rolling forward. And then we're going to move into that reaching through the fingers. And then the rolling the shoulder back. And then up towards that shrug position. And now do that 2 more times. So forward and down, back and up. And then the last circle, forward and down, back and up. And then forward again. Now we're going to reverse. So from forward, we're going to go to the shrug. And then to that roll back position, and then the down position. Back to forward. Go around 3 more times like that. Touching on all 4 of those places, but doing it in a nice circular fashion. We're going around 3 times. When you finish your 3rd one and your shoulder is forward again, that's when you can just let it relax back to neutral. And then roll onto your back. And pause for a moment. That was your left shoulder. I think we were all on the right side. But whichever shoulder you had for your top shoulder that you worked with, notice how it feels compared to the opposite shoulder. There should be some difference in the sensation, I would think. And then you can just roll over to your other side. I'm going to get up and turn around so I can stay in the camera. So you're on your other side now, so get there. Bend your knees, 90-degree angle or so. Hands in front, just to kind of get lined up here. And then take your top hand and take it down so that your arm is in line with your spine. And we'll start our movements. So reach, your fingers long. Notice what you feel, and I really feel this right here in my neck. I don't know about you. And then exhale. Or you don't have to coordinate the breath, I'm sorry, just breathing. And then relax. And the next one is shifting the shoulder back, so back to neutral. Do that twice, so one more time. Notice what you're feeling in your shoulder blade. And then with the shrug is next, so shrug it up, relax it down. Do your second one when you're ready. Just moving slowly so that you're paying attention to sensations here. When you finish your second one, then you can do the shoulder forward movement. So shoulder forward, back to neutral, 2 of those. When you finish your second one, go ahead and bring it forward again, and we'll start our circular movement. So it's forward, and then it's down, shoulder blade back, shrug up towards the ear, and then go around 2 more times for a total of 3. Kind of circular movement, but touching on all of those points, all 4 of those points. So 3 of those. If you do an extra one, it's not going to hurt. When you're forward after you've done 3, then reverse the direction of your circles. Again, touching on all 4 of those positions that we worked on initially. Slowly going around, really emphasizing those 4 points, but also noticing everything in between. When you finished and your shoulders forward again, just let it go back to neutral. And pause. Roll onto your back. We'll do a twist next, so you can need to be a little further from the wall. Okay, you can be with your feet on the floor, or you can pick up your feet, either way, and your arms are out to either side, no higher than shoulder height. Like this would be too high. You want them to be shoulder height, or maybe even a little lower, whatever. Again, whatever your shoulders prefer, and your palms can be up or they can be down. I'm going to keep my feet down today, I think. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, let your knees go to one side, let your head go in the opposite direction. When you inhale, bring your knees up and your head up. When you exhale, change sides. And just go side to side like this a few times. Follow the rhythm of your own breath. Let your movement be nice and slow and coordinated to a slower, mindful breath. As you're doing this, notice what your experience is in your neck and your shoulders, as well as your low back, sides of the body. Next time your knees are to one side or the other, keep them there. Your head's turned, looking over at the hand that's opposite the knees. The next time you take a breath in, lift that hand up towards the ceiling. Your head follows along, so it's like you're watching your hand. And when you exhale, bring your hand down so it reaches the other palm. When you inhale, bring your hand up. When you exhale, bring it back. It doesn't have to touch the floor if that's hard on your shoulder. Inhale up. And exhale, palms touch. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale up. Following the movement with your gaze throughout. Inhaling when the arm comes up. Exhaling when the hands come together. Here's our last one. So inhale up. Exhale, hand comes back. Notice if your shoulder is against the floor or close to the floor. Take a breath here and let it out. Next time you inhale, bring your legs up, your head up, pause, notice what you feel. When you exhale again, twist to the other side. Turn your head so that you're looking over at the opposite palm. We'll do that same movement again. So inhale, hand comes up, hand and arm I should say, and when you exhale the palms come together. When you inhale the arm comes up, and when you exhale bring the arm back. Hand does not have to touch the floor, only go as far as is appropriate for you. 3 more now of these. So up on the inhale, hands touch on the exhale, arm up on the inhale, gaze is following the hand, and you exhale, twist. 2 more. Last one. And this time when you're in the twist, stay there for a breath. With your next inhale, carefully bring your knees up, head rolls to the center. Pick up your feet one at a time. Place your hands on your kneecaps with your fingers pointed toward your toes, elbows extended. Take a breath in, and as you do, the arms are extended. When you exhale, press your low back down, draw your knees and your thighs in. So the knees move away on the inhale. You contract your abdominals and press your low back down on your exhale. Feel the nice stretch in your low back, bringing your spine back to neutral from your twist. So continue like that. Exhaling when the knees fold in, inhaling when they move away. And the next time that they're away, keep them there. Return 1 foot at a time to the floor. Find your way into Shavasana. So I'm demonstrating Shavasana now. You can't see my feet, but my feet are relaxed out to either side. My legs are a little ways apart, my palms are up. If this is not a comfortable position for you, you can change it. Get comfortable. As you settle in, I'm going to come up to a seated position to guide you through the Shavasana relaxation. And notice the flow of your breath. Notice how your body feels now. And can you get a little softer in your arms and your legs? Just kind of a releasing of tension in the arms and legs. And let go of tension in your ankles and your feet. Soften and let go in your wrists and your hands. And see if you can soften the muscles in your face a little bit, just letting them go. And then begin to tune into the parts of your body that are touching the floor. So start with your heels. Notice how they touch the floor. And imagine them softening. Like they're just getting a little bit softer as they come into contact with the floor. And then let your awareness travel up the backs of your legs to your sacrum. Feel the sacrum resting down, softening, melting almost. Notice the vertebrae in your spine, softening, releasing. First, notice the vertebrae of your lower back, your lumbar spine. Feel those vertebrae softening, gradually softening, relaxing, releasing. And then the thoracic vertebrae, which are the more your upper back, your mid and your upper back. We worked with this area a little more considering our focus today, so give a little extra attention there. And then even more attention was paid to the area of the shoulder blades. Notice those. Notice how they touch the floor. Soften. And let your awareness travel down your arms to your elbows. Soften the elbows. Notice the backs of your hands touching the floor. Notice how they rest there. See if you can rest them more deeply. Soften them. And then the back of your head. Feel the back of your head coming into contact with the floor or your blanket. Just feel it supported. And relaxing and releasing into that support, softening, softening down. The whole back of your body, softening down. And continue this process of softening. Imagine the back of your head softening down and then the whole back of your body. And in fact, the whole body softening, relaxing. And you'll be here for another 2 minutes. You'll hear some chimes at the end of the 2 minutes. So rest here now. Relax. Deepen your breath. Give some extra attention to your inhale as you inhale. Feel the quality of the inhale. Feel how it brings some extra energy into your system. And then slowly start to move your fingers and toes maybe to start. Maybe circle your wrists and ankles. If it would feel good to stretch, then do that. And turn your head side to side. Notice how your neck feels right now. Your neck, and then below that your shoulders. Notice how they feel. Bring your head to the center, bend your knees, roll to one side. Take a breath, maybe 2 breaths there. And then use the strength of your arms to press up to a seated posture. So thanks for joining me. Hope the rest of your day is nice. Namaste.